zoning board hearing to order. And so first I want to welcome everybody back. Township, before we open the public hearing tonight, I would like to explain the hearing procedures and rules. The township has initiated an amendment to the zoning map, case number CZ 2024-03. First, we will hear from the applicant regarding the rezoning application, and then our township zoning inspector will speak about the proposed amendment. After that, any persons wishing to speak will be called by the chair in order that they sign the sign-in sheet if there's however many people we have for this. So the hearing rules. If you would like to speak, please be sure that you are signed in. Persons wishing to speak shall come to the podium and state their name and address for the record. Speakers should have their thoughts planned out and be precise. Each person wishing to speak will be given their time, but speakers should not repeat previous information given by other residents. Comments should be directed to the Board of Trustees, not between parties or the applicant. This meeting is recorded, and so at that point we begin, right? Okay. Trustees, any questions before I begin?
No.
Okay. Since there are no questions from the trustee, I'd like to open the Blendon Township Zoning Commission public hearing on case number CZ 2024-03. Could we please hear from the applicant?
Good evening, everybody. I'm here on behalf of my brother. He's on vacation right now. So if you have any questions that I can answer, I'll answer the best of my knowledge.
Can you state your name and address for the record?
Yes, my name is Amal Mohammed. My address is 2259 Minerva Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43229.
Okay. Trustees, do you have any questions for the applicant?
No, I think most were answered in the package that Adam submitted, at least for me.
Okay. Could we hear from Adam?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just to give some background on what this rezoning application is for and kind of the details surrounding it. The rezoning application itself was submitted for 4692 Cleveland Avenue, between Chester and Clarendon Road. The applicant is requesting to rezone the property from its current zoning, which is suburban office, to community service. Reason being is they're trying to expand the use of the car lot that's currently on the property, one more parcel south that they acquired in the last year. They need to do this in order to, one, have the car lot there, be compliant with the zoning, and two, they also need, for the BMV will recognize that they can have the car lot there, they have to go through the township first, and so this is part of them going through the steps of being compliant. I also asked the zoning commission to look at rezoning 4722 and 4698, as well as lot 229 on Cleveland Avenue as well, because the applicant came to the township in 2020 and asked to have those rezoned, and they received a letter saying that they were rezoned. Problem was, it was COVID, we were meeting virtually. I guess it was a weird time and things just didn't quite go as the way they should. So it didn't quite reach the trustee level to get officially rezoned, so I had the commission make a recommendation and review, and they approved it. Have you also review these other two lots so we can bring the entire property into compliance. It's no fault of the applicant that it wasn't rezoned. So.
And those are contiguous parcels?
Yes, it's all contiguous parcels. They own all of these parcels as one. So there, some other instances around the case is that there are some issues with compliance as far as the property not being zoned correctly. There are some other issues as far as parking over the right of way, so visibility on Clarendon and Chester. If you're taking a right or left on either of those roads, you can't see past the cars that are parked there. I've addressed this with the applicant, so basically they've been aware that if the property is rezoned, we're going to have to meet after the fact and kind of go through all the development standards that they need to meet. And then if there's something that they can't meet, some requirement, then that's where we have a Board of Zoning Appeals. And they'll come before the Board of Zoning Appeals and get the variance if they can't, for some reason, meet the requirement. And that's kind of the long and short of it. So basically, the road office doesn't allow for car dealerships. They want to change the zoning to community service. There's a community service parcel just north of this property, so it wouldn't be, this is where it was just an island that didn't make sense as far as zoning. There's other car lots in the area, so that's why we're here tonight, is to try to get the first step to bring them into compliance, and then after that, we'll be working with you to bring the property the rest of the way there.
And this has been a car lot since 2020,
Since 2017.
17.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions for Adam? No? Okay. So now, to the audience, it's a time to call for public comment. If anybody wants to comment, this is your time. You're welcome to. Nobody? Okay, what is the pleasure of the board? Time for a motion.
I drove by. It looked organized.
Okay.
I will motion to adopt amendment CB 2024-03 as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, so there is a motion on the floor to adopt the approval of the zoning amendment number CZ 2024-03. Any discussion?
Just a little bit about right-of-way, because I noticed when I was driving by and we were out there looking at Cleveland Heights, I just want to make sure that he's able to somehow comply with right-of-ways, because it's very tricky when you're pulling through that area to not be able to see vehicles. So I'd be interested to see what happens with that.
Then that's part of the standards requires some sort of barrier. Also requires a 15-foot green belt, which they may or may not be able to meet depending just based on what's currently there. And that's, again, the Board of Zoning Appeals will come in. So they're aware, and they've already discussed options of either putting in fencing or barriers to stop that from going over, because what's happening is either people are taking cars out for test drives, or employees are moving cars after test drives, and they ended up just getting parked over the sidewalk, which is an issue, then just visibility. So once they get rezoned, that's the first step, and then, yeah, they'll be working with me. Part of that will be making sure cars are no longer blocking visibility, and they're installing proper safety measures so they're safe, their customers are safe, people turning are safe. So.
Any other discussion, ladies? No? Okay, Adam, so there is a motion on the floor and seconded. Would you call for the vote, please?
Michael?
Yes?
Susan?
Yes?
Sinatra?
Yes.
All right. So that concludes this hearing, and this meeting is now adjourned. It is 7:39.
If I don't, which I won't see you, so have a Merry Christmas,
Yeah,
lady.
Merry Christmas. Get well. You too. You too. Well, you're not sick, but Merry Christmas.